Hey guys, so it's been a while. I haven't filmed a Predator video all year. Carry on with like the older ones that are very infamous for all the wrong reasons ones. I said that we were going to do Loren Armstrong next, and I'm not laying down. I'm super pale today. I don't know why.
I'm so pale.
What is wrong with you today? Come on then. You've got 4 big legs. You can get up. See if there was any information prior. I know that he turned up, as far as I remember, on his birthday. Like, who turns up? I guess he's probably thinking it's a birthday present to himself. So Loren Lynn Armstrong is a potential. Why is he called potential? I still don't understand why certain people are called potential, but others are actually just called like convicted predators, because they're all convicted. One of the most notorious TCAP predators. Soon after moving to Nashville from Cambridge, Loren began chatting. So he literally moved and then started chatting online with a perverted justice decoy. How many children had he spoken to prior to moving? This stuff always scares the shit out of me. At first, Loren portrayed himself as a protector. Oh, they always do, don't they? It's giving me flashbacks of the math tutor.
I'm here because I was slightly concerned.
Ugh. Telling Kayla, if nobody will talk to you, sweetheart, you can talk to me. I'm a good guy. I have 2 nieces your age. That's terrifying. You have 2 fucking nieces. I hope you never ever see those children ever again. This facade began to slip when Loren, realising that Kayla had never been taught the dangers of the online world, told Kayla that there are a lot of weirdos on the internet. Yeah, you're one of them.
Okay, his name is Loren, L-O-R, and you're Kayla. He should have condoms, pizza, bracelet, and a cam.
Condoms, pizza, a bracelet, and a camera. He had a real idea of a birthday present for himself, didn't he? And then they go, oh no, I'm such a good guy, I was never going to do anything. And it's like, I'm sorry, you brought condoms, a camera, a bracelet clearly to manipulate, and pizza. Like, ugh. But for someone who admitted they were 13, how old was he at the time? I mean, it doesn't matter because he's clearly an adult. Oh, here you go. Loren finally arrived at the Sting house on his 37th birthday. You're 37 years old and you turn up at a 13-year-old's house with condoms and a camera. I genuinely don't understand the mindset. I remember this interview on TikTok where this guy who was clearly probably 40 plus, the interviewer asks him, what's the youngest you'll date? And he was like, oh no, younger than 18. And it's like, are you saying that because that's the legal age? Because if that wasn't the legal age, in your mind there must be nothing stopping you. Because if you're 40 plus years old still finding 18-year-olds fuckable, there is something wrong with your mentality, because that's such a huge age gap. Like, literally the only reason they don't outwardly say, oh, I find 16 or under attractive, is because there is a stigma against it. If there wasn't a stigma, if there wasn't a law to protect these children for a good fucking reason, I mean, not that long ago, I think, what was it, less than 200 years ago, people were getting married or marrying off their children between the ages of like 12 to 16. That was the norm back then. If they had had sex, even if they were older than that, they were seen as dirty or whatever. That's where this whole like women are slags if they sleep around but men are bachelors bullshit comes from. God, I hate society.
Hey, I'm glad you could come. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
They walk so confidently into the house. There's no, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. They just walk straight in, no second thoughts.
Turns out today is his birthday. 37-year-old Loren Armstrong.
Terrible.
Oh my god, sorry. The clash of them talking and the voiceover was so hard to listen to. If I missed anything, I apologise, but that was awful.
Really? How
He's
come?
been chatting with a girl posing as a 13-year-old for more than a month. It's one of the longest chat logs we've ever seen. 407 pages.
There is so many pages of the worst stuff you never want to read in these chat logs. I haven't read them myself, but I know that when I used to watch Mr. Gigi's clips, there is a guy that does read them, and they've gone through and they've shown bits of them saying like, oh, I want to drink your blood, and I want to like tie you up, and I want to hurt you, and they have no good intentions. None. This person is not a person to them, because if they were, they would not be hurting. There is a reason why this is called assault, and there is no way for this to be consensual, because this will traumatize a child for the rest of their life.
Using the screen name Loren A20014, he tells her how to masturbate and then asks her if she wants to see him naked.
I honestly don't understand how you can be 37 wanting a 13-year-old to masturbate for you. I cannot comprehend. I know this sounds really possibly maybe going too far, but the amount of these I've heard, the amount of stuff, I've read the Ian Watkins case, people like this that do not see children as people that should be protected at all costs and see them as something to exploit, I honestly think at the very least they should be sterilised. They should have all sexual urges removed because they are a danger, and that's what's scary, is that these predators, they'll be out in 5 to 10 years. I read like interviews and stuff of people who do see that what they're doing is wrong, but their brain chemistry they recognize is not right and they don't know what to do about it, and they've said that if that was an option they would do that. They have looked at taking medication to stop that urge, any sexual urge, because they don't want to find children attractive. But there are others that just, I honestly don't understand how you can't just see a child and want to protect. Children could be little shits for sure, but they shouldn't be harmed. Honestly, whenever I see children being harmed, I just want to take them away from whoever is harming them. God, we are 48 seconds in. These hairs are driving me nuts today.
She agrees, and he turns on his webcam. He wants her to look at his penis.
You want a 13-year-old to look at your dick? What the fuck? I remember why I stopped doing these for a while. Can I just say, genitalia in general, they're fine, but they're not pretty to look at, you know? And asking a 13-year-old to just look at your junk on a webcam, Jesus Christ, I can't understand it.
Would you like to see it up close so you can get a better look at it?
Never forget he asked this of a child.
Oh my gosh. I guess.
Okay, clearly, already, that's a no, I guess. Consent is when someone is like exuberantly excited, an exuberant yes, like a definitely I want to have sex sort of thing, or definitely I want to be intimate sort of thing. If someone's like, I don't know, like, that's a no. Any sort of, I'm not sure, that's a no. That's immediate no. It's a no in any context. Whether it's like two consenting adults and it's a specific position, or if it's to be tied up, or whatever it is, they're clearly not fucking comfortable with it. Don't force that on someone. Don't do it.
After chatting with the decoy, posing as a 13-year-old for just 6 days, he expresses his deep love for her.
I wish I could marry you right now.
I'm like 1 minute in. 1 minute 11 seconds in. And I already have been filming for like 16 minutes. This is the same manipulation that Jeff Sokol did. The same exact bullshit. Love bombing and the I want to marry you. It's just a manipulation tactic from someone who is older, who knows how to manipulate children. 16 minutes to go.
But he clearly knows what he's doing is wrong, telling her to delete all evidence of their chat log.
God! I'm so glad that this was a decoy and not an actual 13-year-old. The amount of evidence that he's telling her to delete, it scares me how many of these sort of predators there are. The fact that in these sort of stings, they catch like 70 to 100 people. And they've only done this about, I want to say like 15, 16 times or something. So even then, if it's like 80 people per sting, 8 times 16, over 1,200, almost 1,300 predators. And in the first season that they did to catch a predator, they weren't working with the police. So they all got away with it.
Okay, delete your archives and remember, Mrs. Kayla Marie Armstrong.
Oh! Nope. God, this is painful.
And he came walking in very proud, very excited.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Of course he's excited to see you. His birthday, he's going to remember this every single year. And the fact is that, from what I know, after he was convicted and he served his time, he tried to like have a YouTube career, like playing on his guitar or something. He wrote a book. I honestly think that social media is a privilege and should be limited to people that have predatory records at the very least, but also people that have been convicted of harassment, bullying, things like that. I honestly do think there has to be, don't get me wrong, in some ways I like some of the anonymity of social media, but I do think the like YouTube or TikTok or whoever should have the identity of each person that creates an account, so that even if you want to create multiple, but they should have the identity so that when there's social media harassment or bullying or predatory behaviour, you know, I don't think these sort of people should have social media. It's a privilege, not a right. What was my point? The fact that he had social media, right? I don't really know how he thought that was going to go, considering he was an infamous predator on YouTube. Some people say that he served his time, you know, you shouldn't necessarily go after people, but there's still a danger. The justice system doesn't actually serve justice a lot of the time. They give harsher punishments to people of colour, they give lenient sentences to predators for whatever fucking reason. Literally in the UK we had an issue for a while. Hoping that's still not the issue because I don't hear anything about it. But apparently prisons were full, so they were like, oh yeah, just don't send predators to prison. Not let's, maybe look at reducing sentences for people on minor drug offences or something, but like let's just allow predators to walk around still, because that's a privilege.
Look, we got these new chairs. You have to sit down.
I have to sit down?
Yeah, look. It's a massager chair.
God,
It vibrates when you press the button.
I will never get over the fact they just have two chairs sitting opposite each other like that. It's so weird, but then maybe they think that she did that so they could be close or something, I don't know. Here's his infamous catchphrase.
Look, oh my God.
I don't know if it's the accent. I don't know. He says it a lot.
Yeah, flip the switches.
Which one is it?
You can use either one of them. It tells you there's one for your butt, there's one for your lower back, and there's one for your upper back.
I just felt my butt.
Of course he wants to use the one on his butt.
You can pretty much tell a difference when you press
Holy, yep, that's my butt.
They just get so comfy, don't they? I'm so glad there's a chair in between her and him.
I thought you had blonde hair.
Predators aren't smart, are they?
Do you like it? I dyed it by myself.
I think it's pretty.
Thank you.
Saying a 13-year-old's pretty, and we don't mean in the oh you look nice, you look pretty. So we mean in like a he. I remember why I stopped doing these. Oh, they're so freaking hard to watch.
It's very pretty.
Pretty wasn't enough. He had to say very pretty.
Where's the pizza?
God.
I was waiting to eat because I thought you were bringing some.
I don't want to bring you any pizza.
Well, weren't you going to bring me something?
Well, yes, I was. And I did.
Did you bring any condoms?
Yes, I did.
God, the way the way he sounds excited about the fact that he brought condoms on his birthday with a 13-year-old after showing his dick to her on webcam. These people are sick.
Where are they?
Out in the truck.
Well, what good are they going to do in the truck if we're in here?
Well, yell at me, why don't you?
This would have been a perfect opportunity to say, we're not going to do that because you're 13 years old. But no.
I haven't had a kiss yet.
You've been there for like 10 seconds. The fact that you want to kiss a 13-year-old at 37. We are 2 minutes 37 seconds in. Paused a lot, I apologise, but like, I have no words.
Oh, okay. Well, then what did you want to do?
Well, I want to kiss first.
He says it so confidently.
And then what?
Can I have a kiss first?
Well, let's talk first.
She played that off well. Good for her. There are some of them that literally like almost leap out of the chair to like go for her.
Would you like me to go out in the truck and get my stuff?
No, it's all right.
No? You don't want your thing right now? Present I give you?
Well, you can go get it in a little bit or something, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
A little bit, not as bad as what you thought you would be.
Not as bad, but I still am kind of nervous. I'd rather like talk a little bit first and then like so I'm more comfortable, you know?
That's like cool.
I have not seen this full interview. Fucking such a boomer. Oh my god. Oh, he just said that.
I like seeing you in person.
Yeah, I like seeing you too.
Good.
God. She's a really good actress, by the way. But like the fact that he's happy that she's happy that they're seeing each other in person, even though he's literally shown his dick to her over a webcam. I think she's seen enough of you already.
You gonna have a seat too?
I like to sit on the edge of chairs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thank fuck. Thank you, Chris. That was so uncomfortable. Save us, please.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
All right, how are you doing?
What's happening?
Not too much.
Not too much. You a Boston fan?
Yeah, actually, I don't even watch baseball.
Is that to cover your receding hairline? I wouldn't normally joke about receding hairlines, but he's a predator, okay? Fuck off. Like, I honestly don't care about people's hairlines in the fucking slightest. I've dated bald guys, people with long hair, people with short hair, whatever. Dated people that have receding hairlines as well, and wear caps. So it's not about the fact that he has this receding hairline, it's the fact that he's a predator.
Oh, but it's a Boston cap.
It's a Boston cab, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you up to tonight?
Not a whole lot.
He sounds very disappointed, doesn't he, about the fact that he now isn't going to have a special birthday evening with his 13-year-old.
Not a whole lot?
No.
Well, I'll tell you, for the last several days, you've been up to a lot. You're a pretty prolific chatter there. Want to explain yourself?
I always love that. Explain yourself. Question. Like, honestly, how do you explain that? We've seen a few of these now, but how do you explain away the fact that you've turned up at a 13-year-old house when you think they're on their own to give them a bracelet with condoms in your pocket and you've asked for a kiss within 2.5 minutes of being in the door? How do you explain that away?
Not really. I never really was going to do anything.
You asked for a kiss within less than 3 minutes. What do you mean, not really? You also brought condoms, so you were prepared. You brought a bracelet to manipulate a young girl. You were prepared for this.
You weren't really going to do anything.
No.
So you brought condoms. What else did you bring?
I brought her a bracelet.
A bracelet. And she is how old?
She's supposed to be 13.
Supposed to be 13.
No shame. Just, oh yeah, she said she was 13. She's meant to be 13. Does that put you off? Almost every single woman in the whole world has been sexually harassed at some point in their life. The stats is like 1 in 4, but I honestly think it's probably closer to 1 in 3. Whether that's someone wolf whistling at you, someone on a train harassing you to talk to them, you feeling harassed because you're the only woman on an empty platform and you're being harassed by somebody. There was literally somebody who ran across live train lines to get to the other side to harass someone who clearly didn't want to talk to them. This shit happens all the fucking time. Happened to me when I was like 16. I remember going on a train to go see my boyfriend then at the time. I used to wear like more revealing shirts. It's probably one of the reasons I don't anymore. I remember this guy who was clearly at least 28 to 30, might have even been a bit older, I don't remember. And he was with his kid and he wouldn't stop talking to me the whole time, even though I was clearly uncomfortable. And when he was talking to me, he was looking down at my chest a lot. And the reason he kept talking to me is because he wanted to stare at my chest. And it made me uncomfortable. And at 16, I didn't know how to get out of that situation until I got at my stop. That's not the only time stuff like that's happened. I've been sexually harassed while I've been in Camden, on a night out with friends. I don't even want to talk about it. But what I'm saying is, it always happens to young girls up to a certain age the majority of the time. It stops all of a sudden when you get to, I don't know, the age is about 22, 23. But it can happen as young as, I've heard people say that they were like 12, 11, and this sort of shit happens to them. The fact that when you get older, it stops just proves that, that's not to say that older people don't get sexually harassed, but it does tend to drop off. I've talked about the fact that I got harassed by a security guard while I was at work. I was, I don't know, 26, 27 at the time. These things 100% do still happen as you get older, but they don't happen, thankfully, as often because men don't see you as much as a sexual object that they can wolf whistle, sexually harass openly as much after a certain age. And honestly, I love that for a lot of reasons because you shouldn't have to walk around feeling sexually exploited all the fucking time. My point is it shows the mentality of these types of men that they sexually harass, exploit, manipulate children. And you see how his demeanour, this Loren Armstrong, his demeanour has just dropped because he doesn't get a night with his 13-year-old.
And how old are you?
37.
37. You have kids?
Today. No, unfortunately.
It's not unfortunate, it's very fortunate. It's unfortunate you have nieces, but it's very fortunate you don't have children.
Yeah.
I've got nieces, though.
I hope you never see them again.
Nieces.
That I think the world of.
You think the world of. You think the world of, but you don't think of the fact that if a man your age was wanting to come over with a bracelet and condoms to see your nieces, that would be a fucking problem.
Yeah, you talk about your nieces in the chat here. And you talk about how you like to spoil the nieces and how you would like to spoil this 13-year-old girl like you spoil your nieces.
Yeah.
Is this the way you spoil young women?
No.
Webcams of you with your junk out.
Now, what's your name?
This is what I was afraid of.
You should be afraid of the fact that you would get caught. You should be afraid of the fact that this is the wrong thing to do. That a parent could have been there. Police could have been there. You should be afraid of that. It's the only fucking deterrent people like you have.
What were you afraid of?
Stupid move.
What were you afraid of?
Just because she was a nice girl.
They're not considering they shouldn't have done this because it would traumatize the fucking child. They're thinking about the fact that this is now ruining their life. It's all about them. What are you doing? You're being a pain in the ass today. You just want attention. You want to come sit with me?
She was a nice girl. You still haven't told me your name, though.
It's Loren.
Loren what?
Armstrong.
Armstrong. And where do you live, Loren?
In Nashville now.
Nashville. What do you do in Nashville?
Actually, I work at a construction company.
Oh, why does that not surprise me? I'm not saying that people that work in construction are predators. I'm not saying that. But obviously the amount of people in construction that wolf whistle and sexualize women as they walk past, it doesn't surprise me he works in construction. Like I said, I'm not saying everyone that works in construction is like that. I know plenty of people that work in construction that aren't. It's the fact that that type of sexualizing females behavior is normalized. Like literally I came across a post the other day, what was it, on Facebook or something, and said that wolf whistling is a compliment, and I'm like, no, it's a sign of sexual harassment. There's a lot of women that find it incredibly fucking intimidating when men shout compliments. Like literally people have said that they, on their way to work, there is a construction site and they go out of their way to go away from that construction site because they feel so intimidated by the people that work there because they make sexual comments all the fucking time. Literally watch Promising Young Woman. And she just stares them down. It makes them uncomfortable.
And what do you build?
I just started last week. Building a gym for a church.
A gym for a church.
A gym for a church. For a church where people should feel safe. Where children should feel safe. Oh, God.
Is that a good job?
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have it after this.
Besides all this chat here, and we'll go through that in a minute, you also sent a whole bunch of pictures. Now, why would you think that's appropriate?
It's not.
It's not. Those are all your pictures, right?
Literally, he can't even look at it himself. But you expected a child, a 13-year-old fucking child, to stare at it.
Is that all you do in your spare time?
No.
Well, there's 400 pages worth of fucking conversation that say otherwise.
You ever get in trouble like this before?
No, I've never done this before.
You've never done it before?
It honestly makes you wonder if where he lived before he'd done this, and this is just the first time he'd got caught.
Have you ever met anybody in person who you first met online in a chat room?
No.
This is the first time. So
Yeah.
what made you, all of a sudden, for the first time, get online, chat up a 13-year-old girl, and drive up from Nashville to meet her for sex?
Yeah, honestly.
I didn't.
Lauren,
Yeah, don't let her get away with that bullshit.
you send her naked photos, you have an explicit conversation, and you bring condoms. What does that add up to?
I know.
He had a lot to say to her, didn't he? Fuck all to say to Chris. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
At first, you seem like the good Samaritan, the protector. Don't tell me your last name. Don't ever tell anyone from the internet your last name, okay? Okay, why? Because there are some real weirdos on here sometimes, and they might try to go looking for you.
Or turn up at your house with condoms, or turn on their webcam with them completely naked and make you stare at their junk. Someone had watch him on that webcam. My eyes would bleed.
So don't ever tell them your last name, your address, your phone number, the town you live in, or the school you go to. You're one of those weirdos.
Literally! It's the, oh, I'm doing this as a good Samaritan to help you because you're in danger. But also, I'm going to turn up with condoms to do inappropriate things to you that I was warning you these weirdos would do.
Was that some kind of a ruse to gain her trust?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. So how did it go from, hey, be careful, don't give anybody your last name, to, hi, here's some naked pictures of myself and I'm coming over with condoms?
Well said.
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, you must know something. I mean, help me to understand this.
I don't know
What do you
why.
mean you don't know?
I even did.
You don't know why you did it.
Why does it look like he's fucking crying? Is it just because he's possibly overwhelmed? Or is it because of the fact that he realises he's in a lot of shit? Probably the latter, right? Because he's scared for himself, not for the person he was about to traumatise. I hate predators so much.
Well, I think I know why you did it. You did it because you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
I don't think that.
No, what?
I don't think that was it.
You don't think that was it, even though you literally went on webcam and showed your junk to a child, but you don't think that was it? Make it make sense.
You don't think it was it? Well, why don't you help me out? Why don't you tell me what it was?
Because I wasted 5 years of my life on the internet talking to girls that
I wasted 5 years talking to girls on the internet. What, and they realised you were a fucking creep, so they didn't want to talk to you? So you thought it was a good idea to start talking to 13-year-olds? Where is this logic going? Because it's not going anywhere good.
that gained my trust, and she seemed like somebody I could trust.
You could trust. So when you say you spent 5 years on the internet, what, getting taken advantage of by women? In what way?
In every way.
I doubt it. Because if you wasted 5 years, how are you being taken advantage of exactly? If you wasted 5 years, it makes zero sense.
For instance,
I was up in Washington State when I started going on the internet.
when you lived in Washington State, you started going on the internet, and what happened?
I met a girl, said her name was Amanda James, and
Where is this going?
she told me that her daughter was her niece, and that she was watching her niece. Well, she actually had custody of her niece.
What does this have to do with anything? Except for the fact that you possibly could have been wanting to get with the mother so that you could get close to the fucking niece. Because, yeah, that's where my brain goes with predators. Because, again, I've seen literal documentaries of where the parents have been manipulated into an open relationship so that a neighbour who they found attractive could get close and end up stealing their daughter away and assaulting them. And they didn't steal them away once but twice because they let this fucking predator near their child.
And then?
3 years later, I moved back to Maine just to be close to her because she lived in Pennsylvania.
What did that story have to do with fucking anything?
I didn't date anyone. I didn't see anyone because of her.
I didn't date anyone, I didn't see anyone because of her. You mean because you were in an exclusive relationship? I don't understand what this has to do with anything. Can someone explain it to me?
All right, so what happened?
I got back to Maine. I was talking to her on the phone, and my sister wanted to say hi to her. And my sister had been on the internet for a couple of years, and she was able to read people pretty good.
By the way, women have to read people well because we're the ones who tend to get abducted, killed, raped. We have to be able to read people well. That's why his sister could do that. We're the ones that tend to be in danger for our lives. I'm not saying men shouldn't have that capability too, but the reason why women are able to naturally listen to their gut and know something seems wrong very quickly is because of years and years and years and years of this fucking behaviour.
And what happened?
And she got on the phone with her. After she got off the phone, she was only on the phone with her for about 2 minutes, and she got off the phone with her and told me that she wasn't real.
She wasn't real.
Okay, so she wasn't real. So because of that, that made you want to talk to 13-year-old. I don't understand the logic. Anyone else?
She told me she was lying to me, and she'd been lying to me all along.
Did you ever meet this woman? Did you send her money?
The least he deserves.
I sent her money. I sent her all kinds of Dale Earnhardt things.
Dale Earnhardt thing.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. things. She was Dale.
The race car driver.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I don't feel for people who do get scammed by these sort of people. This has happened to a family member of mine who got scammed out of about 30 grand of their money because they didn't know any different. They had never been in love, as far as I'm aware. And when someone gave them the attention that they craved and wanted, they looked past the too good to be true. We literally had a police officer come in and speak to them, and they still didn't really believe us. It took a lot. These scammers prey on vulnerable people majority of the time. People who, like I said, don't know any better. Like a lot of people who have come up in the internet age, we know that these things are scams. But these sort of scammers do find vulnerable people, and in most circumstances, I'm very, very understanding and sympathetic. For him, not so much.
And so because you got taken advantage by a couple of women on the internet, you thought it was okay to take advantage of a 13-year-old girl on the internet.
Literally, where is the logic? I don't understand what he thought he was going to do with that story. Like, what do you mean? That doesn't make you attracted to 13-year-olds.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
But you moved and then started chatting to a 13-year-old, though. Very much was like that.
I'm very happy that you talked to me before talking to anyone else, though. This way, you'll be safe.
I bet he is, because that way she doesn't know any better and she gets manipulated by a piece of shit like you.
That's what I meant too. I don't know how.
You don't know how what?
I don't know how it lead to this.
Well, here, let me take you down the road. This is how it went. You started with this.
Sorry. Let me just take you through your chat history to show you how it went.
And then it goes to, this is as thick as a telephone book, by the way, this chat.
Literally, look how many pages there are. They said, I'm pretty sure 400 fucking pages worth of conversation. 400, that's probably weeks or months worth of communication.
You started chatting with her when? Last month? So you've been chatting with this young woman for a month.
Not a young woman, it's a young child. Is he wiping away tears? Like, is that what he's doing? Because I also see that this could be like a manipulation, that if he isn't actually crying, he's wiping away tears so that Chris will stop, but he's not.
And so it starts with you being the protective older brother type. And we flip through dozens and dozens of pages here. And ultimately, it builds into a very sexually explicit conversation.
And that I love you and I want to marry you and here's my junk on a webcam. Like, there is no explaining this.
Right?
I will say, it's so uncomfortable that he has his legs up, reclined in this chair, while Chris is just going at it with all his information. It's so uncomfortable. Like, he's literally got his legs crossed as if he's relaxed, where, like, his palms must be sweating.
I wish I were sticking it in you right now.
No one feels sorry for you, Lon.
You tell her to delete her archives.
Yeah, because God forbid anyone should find out you're a fucking predator. Oh, wait, they did. You're on Dateline, bitch.
After we stop talking again, okay? Why did you want her to delete her archives?
Because he knew what he was doing was wrong. Ta-da.
Help me out.
Speak up.
You didn't want to get in trouble.
I didn't want her to get in trouble by her parents.
No, you didn't want you to get in trouble.
I mean, this goes on and on and on. Do you think naughty thoughts about me before you go to sleep?
Asking that of a 13-year-old. 13. Why would you want a 13-year-old to be thinking about you like that? 13-year-old girls just want to be loved and kissed and held and cuddled, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just too old now. I've always been a hopeless romantic, so... Oh God, less than 5 minutes.
You talk about getting married to her.
Who says that to a 13-year-old?
Getting married, she's 13.
Exactly!
Huh?
When she was 18.
Stop mumbling, we can't hear you. Say it with your chest.
Whoa, what do you mean she was 18?
You were literally calling her Mrs. Kayla Armstrong. What do you mean you were going to wait until she was 18? You sure as shit weren't going to wait until she was 18 to use those condoms, were you? And again, this is a very like, oh, we weren't going to get married until she was 18. Is that because it's not legal? Because if it was, we know for a fact you fucking would. We know for a fact you would find loopholes for shit like that. If it was still legal, a marriage with a 13-year-old, you would want it. That's how disgusting you are. Because you don't see them as fucking children, which is what they are.
So I meant when she was 18.
Well, you were going to marry her when she turned 18. But you're just going to have sex with her from the ages of 13 to 18.
Literally, Chris. I don't understand. It's literally just because it's not legal. If he could, he would.
Are you excited about me or my penis? Did you bring anything else with you tonight?
Like what?
Like anything?
Nope.
Food, alcohol?
Nope.
You brought a camera. You brought a camera to take pictures of a fucking 13-year-old that literally makes it child pornography. I hate predators.
Oh, here's a good one. Is Miss Vagina thinking about Mr. Penis?
Oh my God! Oh my God! That is such a child prolific predator sort of fucking thing to say. That just literally takes me back to, like, you know, your parent with a spoon being like, here's Mr. Helicopter, open for landing sort of thing. But with like, God, that makes me feel so fucking sick.
What is she thinking?
He is crying. It aggravates me because he's not crying because he was going to traumatize a fucking child. He's traumatizing because he's confronted with how disgusting he fucking is and he can't take it. Even though he would have used those condoms with a fucking 13-year-old if Chris hadn't been there. If a police department hadn't have fucking been there. He's not crying for the child, he's crying for himself and because he got caught.
What's up with that?
It literally looks like an encyclopedia worth of chat.
What do you think ought to happen to you?
Arrested, throw him in jail, and throw away the fucking key. This is what scares me. He's now out. He's still a danger. There has been, one of the oldest was like 68 years old, turned up at one of these to catch a predators things. 68. May have even been older. Looked like a grandpa. I think his excuse was, oh, it doesn't even work, so, you know, nothing would have happened anyway. There are other ways to sexually assault a child or anyone, even if your thing doesn't fucking work. The fact that they still allow these people out into society, they are still a danger. Until they are literally on their fucking deathbed, they are a danger to children for the rest of their fucking lives.
Help me out.
I think I should go to counseling to get off the internet.
Yeah, because it's the internet that made you attracted to 13-year-olds, not your disgusting self. Should go to counselling to get off the internet, not I should go to counselling so that I don't find 13-year-olds attractive and try to come over to their home and use condoms with them. No, that wouldn't be his logic, would it?
You should go to counseling and get off the internet. Did you ever say to yourself, hey man, I got a problem here?
No, because I never thought I did.
He doesn't see being attracted to a 13-year-old as a problem. Really think about that. He sees the internet as a problem. He doesn't see being attracted to children as the problem, as the main problem.
You never thought you did. Does this incident make you think that perhaps you have a problem? What are you going to do about it?
I can do some things I can't do that. Oh my God.
I was literally reading the third book of Akatar yesterday, The Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was bawling my eyes out. I literally had to keep stopping to use a tissue because I could fucking not see or read because I was crying so much. I'm incredibly empathetic. I don't know an empath, but I do feel things very easily for other people, especially if they're crying or whether it's a movie or someone in real life. Anything even slightly sad can make me cry. It doesn't take much. I don't know if there's something emotionally wrong with me. I don't know if there's I'm so emotionally traumatized that it just bubbles up onto the surface really easy, or the fact that I'm very empathetic. I don't know which. But either way, this man is crying, properly crying. I feel nothing. Nothing. No sympathy, no empathy, nothing for him. And I don't think that's me being a bad person.
Well,
do
you ever watch television much?
Who doesn't watch television? I don't trust people that don't watch television. And I don't mean live television, but just if you don't watch, especially in the 90s where we didn't have, YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that, right? Who didn't watch television? I don't trust people that didn't watch television in the 90s. I really don't. Or the early 2000s or whatever. Nowadays, you don't need live TV, obviously. How do you live with all the trauma of society and not have any sort of escape?
You ever watch a program called Dateline NBC?
Well, you should, because you're on it.
Well, there's something I got to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on
No, he's crying. I don't find it fucking sad. I find this funny.
Now you're free to walk out of this house right now. But if there's anything else you want to say, now would be the time to say it.
Look at those police ready and waiting.
Sheriff's office, down! Get down!
On the ground.
Hands behind your back, Put your hands behind your back.
Oh, and they came out with the camera. Let's get all sides of this arrest.
He's taken to the local police station.
Oh! So he was hiding a receding hairline? Called it. Almost everyone who wears fucking baseball caps is covering a receding hairline. Almost all of them. Or they're just bald.
Where his car is searched.
Well, in Mr. Armstrong's truck, we found some condoms, a variety pack.
Why did you feel like you needed a variety pack? You didn't need 12. It means that you were planning on being there for a fucking while.
Plus some jewelry.
And later, he's interviewed by law enforcement.
I believe you transmitted quite a few photographs. I'd like an attorney.
That's the smartest thing you said.
All right, sir.
Loren Armstrong was arrested during the Berlin. Yeah, we saw that. He pleaded guilty to one federal charge of travelling in interstate commerce. Can I read? Purpose of engaging in a sexual act with a minor. On the 30th of August 2008, Armstrong was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and a lifetime probation and registration. Okay, so why did he get a lifetime and all the others seem to get 10 years? I love that. Oh, lifetime probation and register as a sex offender. So it's not actually saying that he's going to have a lifetime registration, can I speak today, as a sex offender. Insinuates that because it doesn't say how many years he's going to be registered as a sex offender. On August the 18th, 2008, Armstrong also pled guilty to one state charge of attempt unlawful transaction with a minor under 16. He was sentenced to 7 years in state prison with 305 days credit for time served. He had been in county since his arrest. That's normal. Like almost a whole year to get sentenced. The two sentences ran concurrent to one another. Armstrong was released November 6th, 2012. In August 2019, Armstrong was sentenced to 6 months in prison for violations of terms and requirements of his parole. Oh, were you texting with a fucking minor? He spent 5 years in a sex offender rehabilitation class. 5 years? I'm not saying they don't deserve 5 years, it's just because it's a class. That just seems a long time. He was failing class because he refused to take any responsibility for his actions leading to his arrest. Yeah, that sounds like the same person from that interview. Not once did he say that the reason he had a problem was the fact that he had a clear attraction to minors. He had also been drinking alcohol on several occasions, which is in violation of his sex offender registration. He was released in February 2020. Jesus Christ, this is long. In January 2021, Armstrong had a conference call with his lawyer, probation officer, and sex offender counsellor. They decided that Armstrong would remain as a registered sex offender on probation. That was only like a couple of years ago. This is what I'm saying. This is a mindset. Unless they genuinely get out of this mindset, they are still a danger. They're still dangerous. Spending your life's most uncomfortable moment in the world's most comfortable chair. If Chris had come in carrying a birthday cake with candles and balloons, I would never have stopped laughing. Oh, they missed the trick there. You're describing online weirdos and having Chris say, "You're one of those weirdos," was comment. Loren never has to worry about being forgotten. We solemnly swear to keep this alive and well for as long as he breathes. Yeah, even probably after he's dead. No matter how bad you think life gets, at least you're not this guy. Do you have any kids? No, unfortunately. Everyone else, actually, fortunately. Yeah, literally. I was never going to do anything is the equivalent. I've only had 2 beers. That's a good comparison. Let's see if that says anything afterwards. Attempted YouTuber, yeah. In 2017, Loren, believing himself to be a celebrity... No. Due to the attention he received from his appearance on Dateline, tried to cash in on his fame or infamy by starting a YouTube channel where he would sing, do workouts, cook vegan dishes, and talk about giving vegan people a bad name. And try to sell paraphernalia from before and during his prison stay. I don't want to know what they are. These videos would be massively downvoted. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And many of the comments would be statements he said in his 407-page chat log. Good. May he never fucking forget it. Though he wouldn't recognise them as words thrown back at him. He tried to sell a shirt of a still of him from TCAP for $40 with the phrase, "Don't yell, I'm sensitive." When did he say that? Which is a rude phrase of his famous, "Well, yell at me, why don't you?" Oh. The legitimacy of selling such a shirt was suspect at best, considering he was using an image from the show which would not only be a copyright issue, but a possible violation of Son of Sam, which prohibits criminals from making money from their crimes. We love this. That being said, he only sold one shirt and he never shipped it. It was probably his. Because sometimes you have people who are smaller YouTubers, they have to buy their own merch so that they can showcase it. I remember Hat Films talked about that. They said they literally had to buy their own merch.
What's weird is we had to buy all those t-shirts for ourselves to promote them.
So it's probably his own. After being sent a direct message from YouTube, username Artsy Tiger, letting him know that all of his supporters were actually making fun of him, he went on YouTube to make what would end up being his final video entitled Important Message. God, this gives me Shane Dawson vibes. In which he addressed the DM and asked the commenters, the same people trolling him, if he should continue or stop making videos. I mean, people are taking the fucking piss and in some ways bullying, so you probably should just stop because it's not a supportive community anyway. And like I say, social media is a privilege. Look at Minilad and what was the fuck, Zoe Laverne, James Charles, and all these people that take advantage of the power of the platform they're given to manipulate or have a power imbalance with their fans. That's exactly why I don't think people like that should have platforms of any kind. I think they should be banned. Loren would stop making videos but leave the channel open to the public. Why? During one of the live streams of his calls to Ramona, Loren was swatted by local police where he was discovered intoxicated and in the nude. I actually feel bad for those police turning up. This would lead to a daily breathalyzer tests. Loren's YouTube career came to an end when he was arrested for violations of parole in the autumn of 2019, as well as failure to pay the subscription on his web monitoring software. That's clever. I didn't know that was a thing. Obviously, because I'm not a fucking predator. Loren was not allowed to access the internet. Second arrest. Loren was arrested again in August 2019 after spending 5 years in a sex offender rehabilitation class. We saw that. And not passing because he refused to take responsibility. Yep. He also showed up to the class drunk, despite one of the provisions of sex offender registration being the prohibition of consumption of alcohol. That being said, he had 5 alcohol violations on his record since 2014. Loren was sentenced to 6 months in jail for this and was released in February 2020. While Loren was in prison, he wrote a novel named Taken Abroad. A video emerged in May 2021 of Loren selling items at a garage sale. In the video, people outside the shot can be heard saying quotes from his chat log. Whether they are locals or his stalkers is unknown. People still visit the trailer under the guise buying from Loren, filming and posting their interactions with him without his knowledge. Yeah, I don't think that's okay. Posting anyone online without their consent is screwed up. In January 2023, images of the Church of God of interest on Google Maps showed his trailer of failure in a state of disrepair, along with a shipping container and front loader in the yard, suggesting that Loren no longer resides there. However, his updated RSO information in May 2023 still lists his address as the trailer, and a new image on Google Maps showed it was in much better condition than when it was in January, with several cars parked outside. However, May, property once again looked to be in severe disrepair. Didn't you just say in May 2023 it wasn't? I'm so confused. It is unknown if this is because Loren is still renovating the property, continuing his junk sales, or simply leaving it to fall apart. In total, Loren sent 15,971 messages were exchanged. 82,889 words were exchanged within those messages, with the decoy sending 22,287 words, while Loren contributed 60,602. That's almost 172% difference between the words exchanged. He was arrested for a DUI pre-Dateline when he drove a van into a house. Loren blamed his brothers for the crash and the arrest, saying he drove because he didn't want them walking home. Why do I think he was a drunk before this? Because you got a lot of drinking stuff before and after. He also tried to downplay the charges against him. He was only a few sips over the limit. This is going back to the whole I only had 2 beers. Oh my god, he had swindled an elderly couple out of $30,000 for promising to renovate their home and then skipping out. God, he is just a fucking dirtbag in so many ways. He would be taken to task about this by the TCAP community, and on his YouTube channel had promised to pay them back. At the time of his last video, he had paid them less than $100. Loren tried suing NBC. Yeah, it was thrown out. I'm not surprised. That was a lot. This time, I can't do these ones as often because it just angers me. I hope they come across entertaining for you guys, but they really affect my mental health because, Jesus Christ, they make you go down a rabbit hole of absolute debauchery. I hate predators so much. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give this a like and subscribe if you like it. I'd really appreciate it. I'm probably going to post a predator video about once a month. So if you want to make sure that you're notified, make sure to turn on your notification bell. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!